What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Border City Kids Live. We are having some technical difficulties here. What are we doing here? Let's get this figured out. There we go. Let's get that figured out. Welcome to the show. If you are here, I appreciate you being here. We got a good show for you tonight. Thing going video. Welcome to the show. This is the Border City Kids Live. Welcome. Let's get this thing going. What are we doing here? Let's make sure this is going. Okay, well, it's interesting. What is up, everyone, and welcome to the show. We will be right back. We are having some technical difficulties. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Border City Kids Live. I have been having some technical difficulties tonight, and I'm not happy about that, but I appreciate you being here. Tonight we have a very good episode for you on a gentleman named Lars Mittank. He is a guy that was flying from Germany to Bulgaria, stayed for a short vacation, and had a ruptured eardrum and was given some medication. Had a run-in with some people over a sports bet, I believe, and kind of just ran from the airport on the way home and disappeared. So if you are here, I appreciate you being here. This is the Border City Kids Unsolved series, and we are live on this Thursday night, and I appreciate you being here. We are going to get this thing going momentarily, but thank you for being here. You know what? Let's get this thing going right now. What do you say? So this story tonight, when we talk about Lars Mittank, this is a man on July 18th, 2014. He was supposed to fly back, or was hoping to fly back from Bulgaria to Germany. He went to see the doctor at the airport to get clearance on his ear and bolted out of the doctor's office, ran off out of the airport, and we have the video of it, and he kind of just disappeared. So we're going to go through the whole entire story tonight, some of the theories on what we think happened, and poor Lars Mittank will never know what truly happened. There's no physical evidence that's been found. There's no clues. This is just one big mystery. and this is a wild one. So welcome to the show. Let's get into this one tonight. So like I said, welcome back to the Border City Kids Unsolved. This is the show where we explore the darkest mysteries, the chilling vanishings, and the unexplained events that still haunt investigators and families today. I am your host, Brian, and tonight's case is one of the most disturbing disappearances ever caught on camera. It's a story of a man who seemed confused, he seemed scared, and possibly paranoid. And then suddenly, he ran out of an airport. And this is what we see on the camera is him running into the woods, and he vanishes forever. This is the disappearance of Lars Mittank, which is incredible. So this is Lars. This is kind of like a reenactment caught on camera. This gives us one of the questions of what exactly happened, and this is the biggest unsolved case, one of the biggest unsolved cases in modern history. This is a case that leaves us one terrifying question. What was Lars running from? So let's get into it tonight. So we're going to talk about the trip that Lars Mittank had to Bulgaria. So I'm going to go to this slide here because this talks about what happened, what his purpose of the trip actually was. This is 72 hours earlier before anything happened. July 2014, 28-year-old Lars Mittank was a friendly, athletic guy from Germany. He's heading to Bulgaria for the summer on a vacation with his friends, and this beach is called Sunny Beach. It's a very big tourist destination. It's a spot that offers cheap drinks, packed clubs, and has warm ocean water. So it's obviously a spot where you're wanting to go. Who wouldn't want to go there? It looks great. It's like the Panama City Beach of the USA. It is the spring break destination. To everyone around Lars, he looks relaxed, laughing, hanging out, and he's enjoying life. But everything changes one night. Lars gets into a brief conflict with a group of men, allegedly over football. It's quick. It's not a full night. But that night he tells his friend something, and this is kind of where the story begins to unravel. He says, "I think they're looking for me." Now this has been reported by his friends that he said this to them. He starts to act a little on edge, but he's still functioning normally. Everything's okay. He says his jaw's a little sore and his ear hurts. The pain gets a little bit worse, and in the morning he has to go visit a local doctor because it's bothering him that much. And the doctor diagnoses him with a ruptured eardrum, something that can obviously be extremely painful, especially when you are flying. Now, why would that be? That's because the pressure of the air changes as your altitude changes when you're flying from ground level all the way to thousands and thousands of feet. The air pressure messes with your ear. And if you've been on a plane, you obviously know what I'm talking about. You can feel the pressure. You have to move your jaw around. You can hold your nose and blow, and it releases the pressure so your ears kind of go back to a normal level. The doctor prescribes cefuroxime. We'll say it's called cefuroxime. It's an antibiotic for a ruptured eardrum. Then Lars gets the news that sets this entire story into motion, and this is where things start to happen. And it is the downward spiral when you think about it. The doctor says that he cannot fly home with his friends. If he would have stayed with his friends, everything would have been fine. The doctor says it's not safe to fly until his ear heals because of the air pressure that would rupture the eardrum even further, and he would possibly go deaf in the ear. Lars tells his friends, "Go home, I'll catch a flight in a few days." Now on a regular day, this would sound normal. He's just going to hang out for a couple days. The ear will be all right. It'll start to repair itself. And off he goes back home. He'll be all right, especially because he says he's going to stay in a hotel very close to the airport. So what could go wrong? They don't want to leave him alone because they kind of notice he's been acting a little different, but Lars insists that he'll be fine. It would be the last time they would ever see him. And this is very sad. So this is where we talked about what the doctor gave him. And this is Lars when he's left in a foreign country by himself and his friends are gone. Lars checks into a cheap hotel. It's very close to the airport. It's meant to be a simple one-night stay. But what happens inside the hotel is one of the strangest parts of this mystery. Hotel workers later say that Lars was anxious, he was pacing, and he was talking about people trying to kill him. Paranoia, you say? Possibly. He wanted to switch rooms because he felt unsafe. At one point, he texts his mother and said, this is the actual evidence we have from his mother, so this is documented. He says, something's not right. Please cancel my credit cards. So something has happened at the hotel. We don't know exactly what, but it's documented through the text that something has gone wrong at this hotel. When she asks why, he simply says, oh, I'll explain it later. Okay, so that's the messages that we actually have documented from Lars. Security cameras capture Lars suddenly running out of the hotel, leaving behind his passport, his suitcase, his clothes, and his phone charger. Okay, these 4 things, those are pretty important things when you're traveling by yourself. He left all his possessions. And this was almost leading up to like a final rehearsal of what eventually happened at the airport. So it makes you wonder. So let's go to the next section, which is talking about the actual airport footage. Okay. The next morning, Lars calls his mother and seems much calmer. Things have seemed to pass. He's okay. He agrees to fly home and go through Varna Airport, which is in Bulgaria, the one that he's staying close to, which is great. At first, he appears completely normal. He speaks to airline employees, and he waits for his appointment with the airport doctor to confirm that he's clear to fly, because the ear cannot be damaged to a point where the air pressure is going to make it worse. But as soon as Lars enters the doctor's office, something terrifies him. So visualize that, picture that. He's sitting in a room and something scares him. The doctor later says Lars was calm for 1 second, and then suddenly he stood up and he shouted, I don't want to die here. I don't want to die. Then the footage that we've all seen. Maybe I should play it right now. I think that might be a good idea. I'll play it right now. This is the footage last seen of Lars Mittank. So what we're about to see is him bolt out of the room. He sprints down the hallway, runs through the airport terminal, shoves open the exit doors. He runs across the parking lot, leaps over a barrier, and runs full speed into a field and toward a dense forest. I'm going to play that video right now. Okay, we're about to see him run through the airport terminal. There he goes. Okay, runs out of the airport, still on camera. Okay, they got the circle around him. You can still see him running. I mean, he's not running too fast, but he's moving. Okay, he climbs over like a fence. That's it. Off he goes. I don't know what happened after that point. That is all we have. It's really sad. We can only speculate based on some of the previous evidence that we have. So he runs full speed into a field and toward a dense forest. There's no hesitation. There's no looking back. And when you look at it, it's like something was after him. Something that we couldn't see was chasing him. And the footage is chilling. He looks terrified. He's not confused. He's terrified. And that's the last confirmed sighting of Lars Mittank. The Bulgarian police launch a search. Okay, let me just go back. Here's the search. Dogs, drones, helicopters, and locals join in to help find Lars Mittank. But Lars is gone. His phone is off. His cards are unused. His passport is still at the hotel. He could not leave the country without his passport, which he left at the hotel. So he couldn't leave. There was no way he was actually going to leave without it. Over the next few weeks, sightings start to roll in. A man matching his description, seen walking along a highway. A disoriented man near a farm. Someone living in the woods. But every lead fades out. His mother continues to search for him. Year after year, clinging to hope, because there's no body, there's been nothing recovered, there's no evidence of death, and there's no proof of anything. There's only the silence. So, who was Lars before anything happened, before any of these events actually took place? Lars wasn't the kind of guy who acted like this. We know that. Friends describe him as calm, reliable, friendly, not involved in any drugs, mentally stable, and hardworking. Nothing in his history hints at paranoia, mental illness, or hallucinations. So, what happened to him? This is going to bring us through a list of theories, and each one is disturbing in its own way. Theory number 1. A head injury and psychosis. So here's theory number 1. Some experts believe that he may have suffered a traumatic brain injury during the altercation at Sunny Beach over the sports bet. A ruptured eardrum can indicate a strong blow to the head, and untreated head trauma can trigger temporary psychosis, paranoia, disorientation, and hallucinations. Combined with the antibiotic cefuroxime, which seems rarely, it's rare because that they don't cause hallucinations. Some argue Lars experienced a sudden mental break. Here's the problem with the theory. Most times they don't run off into the wild and disappear without a trace. They wander, they collapse in time, and they wander most likely into public places where people are around, where cameras are around. They don't wander off into nothingness. And they don't survive off the grid for more than a decade. So while this theory is logical, it probably doesn't explain it, and it's probably not realistic. Theory number 2, and this leads up to the previous information that we talked about. He thought that he was being followed. Some believe Lars was truly in danger. He was switching hotel rooms. He was running from the doctor. But here's the question. What if it wasn't paranoia? Some investigators suggest that Lars may have witnessed something violent, something that he shouldn't have seen. He got involved with the wrong group of people. He may have been threatened, or maybe he owed someone some money. The area where he vacationed is known for organized crime activity. So, What if those men did follow him, maybe to the nightclubs? What if he recognized someone in the airport's doctor's office that caused him to suddenly think that someone would harm him? But again, there's no evidence, so we can't prove it. We don't know. No camera footage of pursuers. No reports of threats. Nothing concrete. Still, many believe the theory explains the intensity of fear better than the medical explanation. So maybe. Theory number 3, another sad theory we have, is that he ran into the wilderness and he died. Search teams checked the area for days, but Bulgaria's forests are vast, they're large, there's lots going on, and it's hard to find a needle in a haystack. If Lars ran deep enough, disoriented, dehydrated, and injured, it's possible that he collapsed somewhere where no one might have looked. But the lack of remains is very strange. You would think they'd find him over time. Animals, weather, time, sure. But searches were very, very thorough. You think they would have to find him. Still, disappearance cases where bodies are found years later happen often. But this one has more grounded explanations. And the last one here is far from satisfying, but it's possible. Theory number 4 is that he survived and started a new life. A small number of experts believe that Lars might still be alive today. Why? Well, let's think about it. There's no confirmed body. There's no confirmed belongings. There's no digital trail. And there's reported sightings of a silent, confused man. A German man, to say that. Wandering rural areas in later years. Could he have lost his memory from the injury? Could he be living off the grid? Or being helped by someone? We don't know. There have been cases like this in previous years. People vanish, then live under new identities without understanding who they were. Lars's mother has been receiving tips for nearly a decade now. Some detailed, some eerily plausible, some believable. She hasn't given up. And neither have many of us, which is why we are here today. So let's talk about why this case still haunts us today. This case haunts us today because of the footage. It shows the last moments of Lars Mittank. It shows the fear in his eyes, the sudden sprint into the unknown, and the total silence that followed afterward. It all paints a picture of a man in immediate danger, whether from his mind or something very real after him. Lars Mittank's disappearance sticks with people because it was caught on camera. He left behind everything he owned. The behavior doesn't match typical missing person patterns. And there are no answers. None. There are no clues. Nothing left behind to indicate what actually happened to Lars Mittank. We'll never know. And I could play the video again. I'm not going to. You can go back and watch it in the video. But this is the question that needs to be asked. So, the case of Lars Mittank continues to fascinate and haunt people worldwide, largely because of the video that captured his final desperate sprint. The viral footage transformed him from a missing person into a digital ghost, an icon of modern mystery. Without a body, a confession, or new evidence, every explanation remains pure speculation. Was he a victim of sudden and catastrophic medical crisis? Was he running from a real tangible threat that the cameras couldn't see and we couldn't see? Or did he choose to vanish? Did he choose to start a new life? For now, the answers are lost in the same sunflower field where he was last seen. For his family, the search continues, fueled by the hope that one day we will learn what happened to the man that ran into the field one summer day and simply vanished from the modern world. Was it fear? Was it injury? Was it psychosis? Or was it something, or rather, someone chasing him? The investigation is centered around 3 core unresolved questions. What was the direct trigger for the sudden and overwhelming terror exhibited by Lars Mittank in the airport doctor's office? How did the subject, Lars, manage to completely evade extensive search operations in the hours and days following his disappearance? What explains the absolute contradiction between the subject's documented stable personality and his erratic paranoid behavior in his final 48 hours? The case of Lars Mittank remains open and unresolved. Unfortunately, we'll never know what truly happened. It's sad, but it's true. Whether the source of his terror was internal psychosis, or from his drug reaction, or external, a credible physical threat, it is the primary obstacle to resolving his disappearance. Until his core dichotomy can be resolved, or until new evidence comes to light, all investigative paths remain speculative. It's something we can only guess at because we don't truly know. And the fate of Lars Mittank remains unknown. We may never know. But maybe that's what makes this case so unforgettable. And for me, it's because it was caught on camera. We have his steps. We have the direction. We have some clues. We have some background story. But we don't have anything from then on. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, don't forget to subscribe to the Border City Kids Unsolved for more mysteries every single week. Before we end tonight's episode, I want to leave you with one final question. What do you think Lars was running from? Try and put yourself in his position. Try and imagine. Try and be creative. And try and think about what could have caused him to run out of the doctor's office the way he did, out of the airport terminal, out in the streets in front of the airport, and off into the wooded area. Let me know in the comments or message the channel. Don't forget to share the show with everyone you know, because everyone loves a good mystery on a Thursday night. If you have any theories, I might cover them in future episodes. But for now, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, some mysteries stay with us forever. Let's hope we find Lars Mittank, because we have not forgotten, and we need him to know that he has a family, and that's what's most important. Good night.